Okay, and hello. This is the second part of how to communicate between windows and how to send messages to another window. And so where did we end last time? So this was the plan, that we have these 4 buttons, and when we press the button, then we will get that button there, and if I press this one, we get the button, and also edit box later on. We will add the edit box, that when we press this button, we will get edit box here, and the edit box and button will show data from the view. So if I run this now, the current version. So this is from part 1. So here we go. So if I click here, it will show the mouse position in this button. This is a button here. So just to illustrate how to send messages to another window, just to illustrate that. Okay, and I'll send some text maybe soon. So we will send the coordinate plus text, I think, so that we can see how to send two different things. Let me check that this this stream is working. Is it really working? Oh yeah, it's working. Okie dokie. So so we will now continue from here. So this is a button. So let's add a edit box, an edit box as well. So let's make an edit box as well. So let me recap quickly what we did last time. So we created this button which rec button. This is the button I created, and we inherit it from the MFC button. So we created our own button, and then we created 2 functions, show and hide. And when we are showing it, we will tell which point we want to show in the button, the text inside the button, and there is the rectangle where we need to show that button. So this white window, so this white window here will tell that where we need to place that button here. So if I press here, we will tell that, hey, put it there. If I press here, this white window will tell that, hey, put it there. That's the top left position. So that's the top left. Oh, actually it's a rectangle, so it's not only the position, it's also the size of that button, because it's a rectangle, both of them. And so if we go to the implementation of this button, so there's the show. We will take the point, and we will create a corresponding string, format the string using the points, and then we will set the text in that button, and then we will move the button to the place where this rectangle is telling it to go. Oh, actually the move window, it's doing both of them. It's putting it in that place and also changing the size according to this rectangle. It does both of them, and then we will show the window. And when we need to hide the window, we will simply say, call the MFC function show window hide. And there's nothing else here. And what did we do in the view class? The white window in the view class, create rectangles. So yeah, this function, when we start the program, we will create all the rectangles like this. And these are the blue rectangles. Yeah, these are the blue rectangles, these ones. So we can actually have 10 of them here if we want. So I'm creating five of those, and I'm putting space between them and so on. So this function is doing that, creating those blue rectangles, and we place them in a vector. This is a vector. And what else we are doing here? Draw rectangle. Yeah, this is drawing the rectangles. Yeah, simply we are looping the array here and drawing all the rectangles. And rectangle hit. So this function rectangle hit, when we press the left button down here, left button down, oh, there's some space. When we press the rectangle left button, so we call this function, and we will check that did that left button hit one of the rectangles. So we are looping all those blue rectangles here, and we are using this function called point in rectangle, which is checking that is this point inside a rectangle, and if it is, we will stop looping and we will save the index of that rectangle, and then we will use it here. We will calculate here we will calculate the rectangle of the button accordingly. So we have some formula here. We put some space, you know, on our right hand side, and we are calling the button then, and we are telling that show yourself. And this is the mouse point, and that's the rectangle where it needs to, the size and the position of the button. And if it did not hit, when we press the left button, if it did not hit any of the blue rectangles, then we will just go and say hide. Okay, so you can watch the previous video to see all the details of these things. Okay, let's continue now, and we will create next the edit box. We already tested in the last video that the edit box works. And let me just show for one more time that if I put this, because it doesn't show now because the visible is removed here, but if I put the visible back, so I need to, so if I like copy this visible and put it, for example, there, I think we will see now the rectangle, I mean the edit box there as well, just in a random place. There you go. So here's the we're gonna use that one next. So let's do this one next. Okay, so it should be pretty straightforward because we're using the same logic as with the button basically. So we need to create, that's a cedit. As you can see, this is cedit. Yeah, cedit. So we need to do the same thing what we did with the button. We need to create an MFC class. So you go here, project and class wizard. Yeah, I'm doing this live now again, so this is a little bit slow in a way that I'm thinking at the same time as I'm doing it. So sometimes might be a little bit slow here. I'm just doing as we go. I didn't plan this at all. So let's see. C, and let's call it C rect edit. You know, the blue rectangles. That's why I call it rect edit. It's not the best name, but I call this one rect button. I put the C there. Oh, let's be perfect. I don't want to name it different. I put C. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing here. Just details about that. So we go here, new MFC class, and C rect edit box. That's called edit, and needs to be inherited from the cedit. There you go. Looks let me remove the C from here because I don't think the C is good to be in a file name. So there we go, and hit OK. Yeah, I'm gonna use Google. I don't remember all this everything, so I will be using some Google maybe here. We're doing quite simple things this time, so maybe I don't need to use too much the Google. But actually, when I'm programming, I use Google a lot. I don't remember things, so I remember most of the time how it's roughly done, but I don't remember the details. I go and Google and see the document. So there's the rect edit. Okay, so now we go to the view class. So we see the first version of this edit in a random place, this one. So instead of using the MFC edit, we will use this modified our own edit. We will add more things here. So I'm going to copy that and place it here. Instead of using C edit, we used this class we just created, and we need to include that rect edit. There you go. Okay, that should work. That should work. So let's go and continue and do similar things what we did with the button. I'm just gonna simply maybe copy these two functions and just place them here in the same manner. Gonna copy them there, and I'm gonna copy the implementation as well. Let's just do it pretty. Let's let the first version be basically the same, but just using the text to put the text in the edit box instead of a button. So I'm just gonna change the names here. Okay, like that. Is that gonna work? You see there's no red here, and there's no red here neither. Okay, is this gonna be easy peasy now? Yeah, this might. I don't see any problems why it would not work. It's just another window. You know, all these things, they are windows. The rect button is a window, and edit box is also a window. So they are all windows, so all these functions are there in all of them. So now let's go and change it a little bit. Remove that visible from there. Rectangle hit. Okay, let's go to the rectangle hit function and see what we can do there. Okay, so this remains the same. We're checking which blue box it hit. And here, now here, yeah, just to test this first, I'm just gonna call that edit box instead of the button, and let's see. Let us see. Now the interesting thing is that if we go to the rectangle edit, you know, we need to set window text. I don't remember actually in cedit how do you set the window text. It might be this function, by the way. It probably is. If it doesn't work, I will Google it. I think this one puts the text in that box, if I remember correctly. Let's try our luck. So I'm gonna copy that edit. Okay. I'm just gonna call the same thing, but just using the edit box this time. The same thing with hide. So I'm gonna call the edit box hide there. And then let's see what happens. If we are lucky, we will see. We will see a nice edit box this time. The moment of the truth. Yeah, I'm good, isn't it? So there's the edit box. So this time it's an edit box. As you can see, I can change it also. And now this one. You see. Okay. Not bad start, isn't it? So this is an edit box here. We could also, by the way, we can easily remove the borders of this edit box. It's quite cool because if you remove the borders from here, it looks like it's the white window on the background, but you can edit this type like this. That would be quite cool to do. But again, I don't remember. I've done that many times, but I don't remember actually. Even that one, I don't remember how to. From my head, I don't remember how to do it, but I've done that many times. Okie dokie. You see. So, okay. So now we have both of them. Now the question actually is that, what is the next question? But when do we want to show the button and when the edit box? What is the whole purpose here in this program? Let me think. Well, we can actually we could show one of them on the left hand side, one of them on the right hand side. We could take that route, but let's think about that later on. Okay, let's go now to the main issue actually. This is the main issue. How to use SendMessage PostMessage to send this same thing. Because at the moment what we are doing at the moment is that we are calling that object directly using the Windows object here. I'm calling the function directly. Now the interesting thing is that we can actually, now let's learn the SendMessage and PostMessage. Actually, I saw one thing here. I saw this is one. If you look at that file, this file is, as you can see, program files Visual Studio Community. So this is a MFC file, and as you can see, this is the CBND. This is the parent class of all Windowses. Okay, if you create a button, it will be inherited. It is inherited from CBND. This is a window class, and all the Windows is like buttons, combo box, edit box, all of them are inherited from this one. So this is the parent, grandparent or grandparent of all of them. Okay, so this is the at the top, at the very top. So if we are talking about, yeah, so because all of them are Windowses. And for example, if we are posting a message, you see what happens here. It will call this, if you say like C button post message, like let me do it here, okay, or C edit. Let's say that we want to use that post message there, okay. You call post message, and then you're posting some kind of message. For example, let's say that you want to send the move. I don't remember if this move works straight away, but it doesn't necessarily work. But you can try to send something like some Windows message to the button here. Whatever message works for you. You can do like this. Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. Shame. Okay, here we go. So now we go to the main point here. This is the main point. Learn the post message and send message. Okay, so let's learn the basics here. So if you want to post a message to this window, okay, post message and send message. Those are the bare bone things in Windows programming. Okay. Even if you don't use MFC, let's say that you don't want to use MFC, this one, but you want to use, for example, WH widgets or another Windows programming system. They all have this because Windows system, Windows 10 is based on this. This is the deep of the deepest function. Okay, so all these Windows is what you're using in Windows 10. They are using post messages and send messages a lot for sure. All the programs you are using, they are using these post send messages. So this is nothing to do with the edit box or button really. This is a window issue. So Windows can communicate with each other. They can send messages to each others, or they can post message. Post message means that it's like a letter. You know, you're posting a letter, isn't it? So let's say that you sent me a letter, right? From America. Where are you from? Samel, where are you from? Is it a secret, or you can tell me? I will. Doesn't really matter, but okay. So let's say that. Okay. Oh, Germany. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm from Finland actually. So let's say that you're posting me a message. Okay? You're posting me a letter, right? You're posting me a letter. Okay. So what happens? What do? Well, you write the letter. You put it in a post box. You take it to the post office, and then you go home, right? What happens? Do I get immediately that letter? No, I don't. It's in a queue, right? It's in a queue, right? It's in a. Yeah, okay. So it's in a queue. So you are posting that message to me, to my country, okay, from Germany. So it will take time, right? And the other thing is true. The other thing which is important here, that when you are posting that letter to me, do you get immediately reply? No. You go home, isn't it? And it's a different process, right? You go home and you can do something else. You can clean your house, right? The message it's in a different process now, isn't it? Somebody is working on your letter, okay? And you can go home and you can do other things. That's post message, okay? And that's exactly how it works here as well. When you're posting a message, it will go to queue, Windows queue, and when the Windows feels good, when the Windows system feels good, and they think that, oh, this is a good moment to do this, then they will decide when they want to do it. Okay, so the Windows system, the Windows system is, they make their own decisions, and you don't know when it comes actually. Well, in reality it comes super fast, of course, but I'm just saying that in theory we don't know when it comes. In theory, in reality it comes super fast, but in theory. Okay, so it goes to queue, and then the other windows will get it at some point. Okay, and important thing is here, let's say that you are on this line, okay, you're posting the message, it will immediately go on the next line, okay, and it will go here. So we don't wait anything here, okay? You don't wait, you just post the message and the code continues immediately. That's posting. How about sending message? Okay, so sending message is like this. Sending message doesn't put it in a queue. Send message, this is a different. Send message sends immediately, it immediately contacts the receiver, and it will wait until the receiver gets that, and it will also wait for the reply. So it's very strict, very, very strict. It's like a function, okay? So send message is like a function. It will wait until the receiver gets that, and when the receiver gets that, the receiver actually sends you back return value. So it's a kind of two-way communication, and when you get that return value, then we will go to the next line, which is 120. So this is 119. It stops here until the receiver gets the message, and it immediately, actually the receiver immediately gets that message. There's no wait, it immediately gets the message basically. And so there's no waiting. Okay. So post message can wait, send message doesn't wait. It's a function call basically. Yeah. Okay, but this is not about C++, but this is not C. This is general Windows programming procedure. It's not. This is not really C++ issue. This one. It's even if you use Visual Basic, you get the same thing. I think. Visual Basic also has post message, send message. I'm sure about that. Well, I actually haven't studied Visual Basic, but or C#, they all have these things. So anyway, let's continue. Okay, let me use the send message here. Okay, so I just wanted to show how this roughly works, and then we go back here. So you see here, so here is the post message, for example. So when you're posting a message, MFC is gonna use this function actually, by the way. It's gonna use this function. So it's first checking if the Windows is valid, if the handle of the window is valid, okay? If the handle of the window is valid, then it will go and call the Win API post message here, okay? You see the two dots there. So, yeah, no, this is not the login system. This is we are creating this kind of, oh, I lost the blue box. What am I doing? I'm in the wrong project, isn't it? We are here, right? No, this is not the logging system. This is we are learning MFC like this. We are creating a message and we are sending information to this edit box, and we are learning how to communicate between Windows in MFC. So, okay, so let's go back here now. So you see there is when you put two of these dots, that means that you are calling Windows API. That's C language. That's Windows C language, C programming. So we're calling the Windows C programming post message here. So the CVWND is how do you say it? It's a class. It's a class which is wrapping this C language kind of. You see, it's almost doing the original C++ call here, and the same thing here. track detect, same thing. It's checking the Windows handle is correct, and then it will call the Win API C function. You see, it's very simple. MFC is very simple. You see, it doesn't really do any extra things much. Many of these functions, it's just calling the Win API C version of this same function. Okay. No MFC is no. You can Google about it. You can Google about MFC. This is you can Google about it. MFC is Windows programming. You can get it if you are installing Visual Studio. You will get that Visual Studio. Okay. So. Oh, sorry guys, I lost. I think I double click something and it opened a website. Okay, we are back. Okay, let's go now and implement. Okay, we can talk about that later. 1, 2, 2. We can talk about it later. Let me do. I'm here. I'm doing this project now. Here. We can talk about the other things later. So, okay, so we're calling the show here, and now we want to use the post message to do the same thing. Here we are calling directly the window. So let's use now SendMessage to do the same thing. And the way we do it is that we need to create a message handler. We need to create our own message, and then we need to create a message handler for that. And the best thing to do is here is to read the Google. Okay, Google is your friend. Google is your friend. Okay, so let's Google about this. Okay. So Google is your friend. So I already have the link here, notes. Okay. So let's go to this, because this Microsoft website actually tells exactly. Microsoft website is not always very good. They don't tell all, but this one is good. So sometimes Microsoft is very good documentation, sometimes not so good. But this one is good. So we go here, and I will put that link there. And so here you go. So we need to create this kind of message handler in that button class. And there is an example here actually. So first of all, we need to define a new message, new Windows message. This is our own message. Let's do that first. So we need to go to the button. Let's use the edit box, because the edit box is here, right? So I'm gonna do the edit box first. So I'm gonna go to the edit class which we just created. So we will create the Windows message here. Now, okay. Now, as you can see, Microsoft is using define. Okay, I ask you guys, are you C++ guys? Are you C++ guys? Okay. C guys. Is this a good way to do this? It's creating this integer constant here using define. This is what we just copied. We just copied it from the Microsoft website here. Is this a good way to do like this? Okay, so my question is that so on a Microsoft website they are advising to create this message like this. Is this a good one? Is this a good way to do this? Well, if you ask me, I would say no. Okay. Well, people disagree, isn't it? Because I don't like this define, okay? Yeah, I don't like this define, okay? This is C language. We are not doing C language, we're doing C++, right? We're doing C++. We don't want to use this define, okay? So what do we use? Not define. What is the other one? Okay. Who is the best? If I'm not the best, I will be jealous. Who is the best? Are you talking about me? Huh? Okay. So no, I'm just joking. Okay. So what are we gonna use here? Yeah. Don't use define. I don't know why Windows makes mistake here. This is Microsoft website. Okay. I think they make a mistake here. Okay. Anyway, No, I'm just kidding. We need to use const expression here, okay? Const, this is C++ language. Const, what am I doing wrong? Const, yeah, const expression, yeah, okay, const. But now, what is the type of this? What is the type of this Windows message? Well, let's go and see, okay? I don't remember. Okay, that's the thing that I don't remember. Let's go and look what it is, okay? So what is Windows message type, okay? What we can try here is that let's use this post message and look what it is. We can Google about it also, but if I put here, let's see what it's using here. Do you see what it's using? The first, it's an unsigned integer, okay? So why on earth you would not use that type here? You know what I mean? Why on earth you would use define? Why don't you just put unsigned integer here, okay? Okay, let's not waste time too much here. Okay, so it's unsigned integer, const expression, and then we create a variable here, okay? And then we can initialize the variable with that value. So this is, so WM user is the first user message you can use, okay? So you can use, this is the first one you can use when you're using, because the Windows is using the other messages, the other ones. So you need to start from here and +1, +2, okay? So when you are sending your own, when you're creating your own messages, Windows messages, you need to start from a Windows message user, and you need to add something here like +1, okay? They add +1 on it, but you can start from +1, I think. So, okay, so this is how you create the user message. Oh, you're asking GitHub? No, it's not in the GitHub. Sorry, I'm just lazy to put it there. But I could, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lazy. Maybe I'll think about it. Okay, so let's continue. So this is the message we're gonna send to this edit box. Okay, so we already started pretty well. So now I'm gonna put that. So now we can put that here. You understand? We can use now that message. Oh, sorry, it's not my message. Let's have a better name. Okay, so that's gonna be. Let's call it show info. Let's call it show info information. Okay, show information. Okay, and now we can call this show information here. That's how it works. So post message and show. I have GitHub. Okay, I'll talk to you later. 1, 2, 2. I talk to you later. I have GitHub. I have some of my projects there. Okay. Contact me later, please. I'll let you know. Okay. 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 So info here. Okay. And now we need to send more messages here. Okay. So let's go back to the website now. So next thing we need to do is that we need to create this. We need to create this message handler for this message. So it needs to go between begin message and end message. This is a message map. The Windows MFC Windows is they have a message map. So we need to put that. We need to now tell this button class, this edit box class, that when this message is sent, which function will trigger, which function will deal with that message. Okay. It's that simple. So let's copy this and we will go and find the message map. So you go to the edit CPP here, and we find here is the message map. Okay, this is the message map. Okay, message map for all Windows messages. Okay, so when you have a Windows message, you will deal it here. You start from here. Okay. So we put that message here. So this is a user message, and now we need to put that show info here, and this is gonna be the function which we're gonna run when you send this message, this Windows message. It will go to this function, and we haven't created this function yet. So how do we create that function? Well, the Microsoft website tells how to do it. So you just copy this. This is the way you need to declare that function. So we go to the H file And so you go to the edit H file, and you can put it in maybe you can put it in a protect section here. Okay, there. I mean, why not private, man? Why not private? Come on, man, give me a break. Come on, man, give me a break. Okay, so I think we're gonna put it in a private section. Okay, so what do I do with this project? Protected. This was under protected. I don't want to change it. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put like this time. Okay, so there's a private section, and so this is gonna be the name of the function. So let's call it on show info, isn't it? On show info, logically. On show info. Okay, we are showing the information in the box. Okay, and I'm gonna put that there. Okay, and now we're gonna do the implementation of that message handler function. And let's go again here. I'm gonna copy the function from here. This is how we need to implement that function over here, and it's gonna be this class function of this class, and then that's the name of the function. You put it there. These two lines are just checking that both of these variables need to be, if one of them is not set, it will give you a warning here. These are just warnings that if the person who is calling this function is not setting those one of these variables, it will give you a warning. Okay. So let's post actually. Let's post the message just to see that the post works also. Okay. So let's post that message, and we're gonna do the action here. Now this is interesting. This is a little bit more complicated now, but this is very important, by the way. So don't lose your concentration now, because this is more important than the last lesson. Okay, so now we are in the real thing here. Okay, so don't go now. Okay, so we need to do the show and hide here, right? When we are sending that message in the view, we are sending that message, we need to show the information here, right? So how do we do this? Now the problem is that if you look at this post message, the post message can only send W param and L param. Okay, these two are integers, so we can only send information as an integers. So how on earth we can send strings? Let's say that we want to send a text. Okay, let's say that you want to send like John, and then you want to send the the left button point 2355. Okay, so you want to send John via this one, and then you want to send also the point where we click the window. So how on earth you can send all of this using this post message, because we can only pass two integers here. We could pass this 23 and 55, right? So I could put here 23. So okay, let's do that first. Okay, so let's just send these two. Actually, we can send the point. Let's send the point here. Okay, so I'm gonna send the point X here. Okay, and then let's send the point Y there. Okay, okay, let's send only the coordinate of the mouse click, and let's see first if that works. So now we're gonna come here. So this is gonna be the point X and point Y. Okay, so now we can now show. Let's just call this show function now. This is not a good one, but I'm just gonna go to show now, just to illustrate that this kind of works. So the point will be, let's create the point here. Okay, so we put the W param here, and we put the L param as a Y, and now I'm gonna put the rectangle there. I'm just gonna put the random rectangle. Okay, left, right. So I'm gonna put here, that's 10, 150, okay? Oh, 70, okay? Okay. So left top, right bottom, okay? Right bottom. Let's put there 80. Okay, so let's see if this works. Moment of truth. So we should do edit box at the top of the top left of that white window. Aha, and there is a problem now. It's complaining error. Element 1. Oh, by the way, do you know why is it complaining about this? Because the point, as you can see, the point is taking an integer, right? Integer, and it's complaining about the W param. So why is it complaining about it? Why does it give this error message that element 1 conversion from W param to int requires a narrowing conversation? So what is the problem here? We should put int, but we are putting the W param. So why is it not working? It's not working because it needs to be exactly the same type. Okay, it's asking integer. The point is asking integer, but we are putting a unsigned integer. Okay, so we need to. One way to fix this is simply just you use the old initialization bracket, which is not so strict. Okay, this is not so strict, so it's not gonna complain about that now. Okie dokie. So succeeded, and let's run it now. Yeah, exactly. Oh, very good, very good. Roy, I think you are master C++ programmer, right? I think you are advanced. Okay, so very good, very good. It's good that people know C++ because I don't really want to teach C++ this time, so I can actually. Okay, let's go now and run this. Okay, and voila, I'm very good, isn't? I'm very good, isn't? Did you see what happened here? I posted this message this time. Okay, I posted the message. You see, it worked. I did not call any member functions. Let's go and look. I did not call any of this. I didn't call show. I didn't call hide. I just sent this message to that window, and it worked. Because now this class knows how to handle that new Windows message we just created. Okay. Okie dokie, looking promising. And now one thing here is that we can use the send message as well. So let's use the send message instead. Okay. It also works. And you can't really see the difference because both of them are super fast actually. But send message is a tiny bit faster. Okay. Okay, you see it's exactly the same result, but as I told you before, there's a difference. Send message will stop the process here. Post message doesn't wait; it continues the process here. Yeah, that's the difference. It's a little bit difficult to illustrate that, by the way, but I think you get the point. So let's continue now. Okay, so the next now very important point coming here. Okay. This was just the beginning. So now we saw that we were able to pass this point. So next thing we want to do is that we want to pass more information. We actually want to be able to pass any information, right? I'll show a couple of ways to do things. There is no right and wrong, by the way, and things can be done 100 different ways. Okay, so things can be done in 100 different ways. Okay, so I'm just gonna show a couple of common ways. So let's say that we want to send information to the edit box. We want to send John, and we want to also send this one. So we want to see in that edit box all that. We want to see when I press here. We want to see here John, and then we want to see the the point where we clicked. Okay. So how can we do this? Any idea? How can we send this information? Or maybe, okay, let's say that, what should we say? Yeah, okay. Let's say that this box only knows what name is gonna send. Of course we could print that John, but let's say that this edit box doesn't know anything about John or Peter or anything. And we need to send that John from here secretly, okay? So how can we send this John here secretly? that he gets that. Okay, the way to do is that we can create a structure containing all this information. So let's do that first. So in a view, you can create here a structure. Okay, let's call it info. Okay, and here you can put whatever information you need to send. Okay, so we need to send a point, right? We need to send that point. What else we need to send? Well, we wanted to send the string, right? So string and name, let's say the name or whatever, or text or whatever. Let's say text, okay? Some text and then the point. Okay. So we're gonna use this information instead. So how can we send? Okay, the idea is this. We're gonna go here. I will create this information object. Okay, like this. And now I'm gonna fill up what I'm gonna send. Info.point. Well, what is the point gonna be? Well, the point is gonna be the point which we have here, right? The left mouse point. So you're gonna put that point there. You're gonna copy that. And then what are we gonna do next? Well, the name, right? I mean the text. The text, okay. So what is the text gonna be? Well, whatever you want. I think it's a Unicode. So you're gonna put like that. And then let's say we want to say hi, just hi. Okay, hi. We want to say hi. Or maybe point, P or like point. PT like a point, isn't it? PT like a point. That makes sense. I don't want to just put like Apple 24/6. Doesn't make any sense. So let's put point, right? And right, that looks good. So point, we want to print point and then the coordinate after that. So how could we now send this here? Because this one we can only send here integers. Any suggestions? Any suggestion? How can we send this all this information here? Because this we can only send integers here. But this is not integer. This is a big information here. So how can we send this? Any suggestions? Now, as I said, this can be done in many ways. Okay, I'll show one way to do it, which is very useful way. Okay, I told you that there are many ways to do it. I'll show one which is I show you one way which I think is important to know. That's why I'm showing it. Okay, the way you can do is that you can allocate memory. This is very handy, by the way. You will allocate memory here. No, you can use the info struct. Why not? I mean, you can do like this. Why not? I'm not really talking about how to create this guy here. I'm talking about how do you put it here. How do you send this info object here? That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the way you do it is that you can allocate dynamic memory here. Okay, so instead of creating, because what is the problem with this info? If you send this info and you let's say post. Okay, if you post it, if you create this info and you post it, what happens? Well, the info will be destroyed here, right? This is very dangerous. If you put this info somehow here, okay, like that, and then you go here, because remember, posting doesn't do it immediately. So when you come here, info will be destroyed, and this post guy is in troubles, because this info is already destroyed when he's giving it, when he's passing it to the destination. It's already destroyed, and the program might crash, right? The program might crash because this object doesn't exist anymore. Okay? Don't do this. Don't do this. Okay? How can we solve this problem? Well, we can create a dynamical memory. Okay? You can say info new, and then you can create a dynamical memory. Okay? And then you will fill it up here like that. And now we need to send this pointer here. So how can we put this pointer here? Well, you put 0 there, nothing there, and we can put that there. You see it's an L parameter. That's L param is a very big integer. I think it's a long, okay, long, and long is big enough for pointers, okay. Long is a very big integer. It's able to hold addresses, C++ addresses. So we can do a trick. We can send this info pointer there, but obviously it doesn't accept that, right? So why is it doesn't accept that pointer? How do you solve this problem? Now Roy, you know this. Roy, this is great. You know how to do this. We should have L param, but we are sending a pointer. So how can we fix this? It doesn't like that because it's a different type. Well, the problem is not that we can't put the pointer here because yeah, oh, very good, yeah, exactly. It's not static cast, it's reinterpret. Very good. I can see that you are an expert. You're an expert. Exactly. That's the one. Because we need to force it to a totally different type. We need to forcefully do that. Okay, so it's gonna be reinterpret cast. We are forcing that pointer to another type, which is an L param in this case. So we need to put L param there. So L param, okay, L param, and now it's gonna go. So we will change this pointer to L param first. Okay, that's it. But somebody needs to now delete this memory. By the way, we just created the dynamic memory. So this guy who is receiving the message must delete that. So let's go to the receiving end. So we will receive it here, right? It's gonna come here. This is the L param. So this L param is gonna contain that pointer. So we need to do the cast now back. And in order to do that, we need to go and have the same struct here as well. We need to go to the rect here. We need to have exactly the same struct here, so we can capture it here. So now we're gonna go here and we're gonna say here info pointer equals to, just gonna info, and we're gonna do exactly the same thing but the other way around. So I'm gonna do the reinterpret cast, and this time we're gonna convert it back to the pointer now. Okay, cool. And now we can use that now to show the message. Very cool, very cool. So now we can call this function and we can get the information from the info object and put it here. This is cool, isn't it? So so the point will be simply info point, okay? And what is the rectangle? Oh, the rectangle is missing, right? So let's add the rectangle. One more thing, I forgot, sorry guys. Actually, we need to have the rectangle. I made a mistake. We need to have a rectangle instead of the point. Sorry guys. So this needs to be C-rect. That will solve all the problems. Now wait a second. We need three things. Sorry, we need three things, isn't it? Yeah, because this point is, it's the mouse point, isn't it? I'm confused myself now. Okay. So this is the mouse pointer. Okay, sorry guys. We need to change this name, isn't it? Mouse, a left button. Oh, maybe mouse point, I don't know. Mouse point. Okay. And that's gonna be mouse point. Okay. But we need to have one more thing. We need to have that C rectangle. The rectangle, the size of the edit box. Rectangle edit box. Okay. We need to have one more, and let's fill it up here as well. So, and that's gonna be this rectangle. We just calculated it here, right? So we're gonna just copy that thing there. So yeah, so rectangle rect edit. Let's call it rect window, okay? Rect window, okay? Because we might use that same thing with the button. They both are Windows. So okay, so here we go, looking good. And now we can go here and use that also, isn't it? So the point will be, yeah, that's the point, and the rectangle will be simply we just need to get it from there. So that will be oh, it doesn't show because I forgot to copy that. Into this class. We're gonna do it better way in a moment, but I'm doing it in a beginners kind of beginners way. I'm gonna improve this in a soon probably. So but let's start like this. So we're gonna copy that there, and now we're gonna go back here, and now we're gonna take the rectangle of the window. Okay, and what do we need to do next? I'm asking. We forgot to do one thing here. What is that? Roy, can I now run this program, or do we need to do something else? Some water. So can we run this now? Is it now all good? Yes? No, it's not good. No, it's not good. It's not. Yeah, it actually works. It actually runs. Yes, it runs. But there's something wrong here. It's this dynamical. It's something to do with this dynamical allocated memory, right? Remember, we allocated the memory here, right? So what happens when you come here? What happens with that memory here? We will reinterpret cast it here. So what happens now to the memory? Shouldn't you try to break down window the points? No, why? Why do I need to do that? No, I don't need this. It uses rectangle. We only need the rectangle. You can see from my first video, we did that already. We only need to put the rectangle contains the top left corner and the size, both of them. Okay, so okay, as I said, the problem is now that the dynamical memory nobody's deleting that. Nobody's deleting the dynamic. We are creating it here. Okay, this is very important to understand, by the way. Remember, in C++, if you use new, you need to delete that memory. Always. At the moment we are not doing it. That means that the memory gets wasted. Nobody is deleting that memory at the moment. So we are wasting memory. We get dangling pointers. Yeah. We get memory loss. We lose memory. Nobody can delete it. We are wasting memory. We're creating new memory here. So where do we need to delete it? So we need to delete it here. When we are using it, we need to delete it straight away. We need to delete when you use that memory. You need to delete. Okay, there's one problem here. This function which we are calling here, it's taking that by reference. Okay, so this value here is taken by reference. And what is the problem here? Is there a problem? Actually, there is no problem, because remember, this function is waiting. It's going to send that by reference, and after that we can delete that. You can delete that memory here. Okay, and that's done. So you need to delete that memory after you use it here in this function. This function needs to delete it or save that memory, but that's difficult. You have to basically delete it. There's no other easy way to do it. So you have to delete it. Is it possible that chain of messages are sent and event handler receives them in different orders? Then something shows. Are you're talking about the post message? I don't think so. I think post message, they go in a like if I post first message number 1, then I post another one, and message 2, they go in a queue definitely in that order. But when they get received in the receiving end, that's a question mark. We don't know when they receive it, but they definitely go to the queue in that order where you're calling them. So yes, if you are posting 2 messages, it's not possible that the second posted messages comes before the first one. I don't think that's possible because it's putting them in a queue as you're calling them. Yeah, it's putting in them queue as you're calling them. But there might be another. But one thing is here. So if you, let's say that you're posting post 1, okay, then you're posting a second message, okay, and let's say that you're posting a third message, okay. If you're posting like this, they will be received in this order definitely. That this will be first, this will second, this is third. But there's a but. Windows might put something here. Windows might put other messages here, okay? Windows might put messages here in between, okay? So Windows might put something else in between. So we don't know how many is there between. But they will come after the messages has been processed. Okay, so let's go back to this one. So we need to delete the memory here after we use it. Okay, this works. This definitely works. And let me just run it now. Okay. So now, there's some errors. There are some errors. So let's see, what is that? What is that error? What does it say? Info struct type redefinition. Redefinition. Okay, so there's a redefinition because I'm defining this struct here, and I'm also defining it here and here in the edit class. And this view is calling this edit. It's including it here. Okay, that's why we get this problem. So how to fix this problem? We have the same struct now defined in 2 different places here. Because they both, the white window needs to know this rect, and also the edit box needs to know that same, this struct. They both need to know this struct. Well, let's do it properly. So we can create a new class, we can create a new H file and put it there. So let's quickly do that. Add a new file, new item. And we can just create a new, like a definition file, H file. Okay. So you just put header file, okay, new header file. And you can call it, it's called definitions. I don't know, or constant, what is it? What is that struct? Let's call it definitions. Okay, so there's the definitions, and now we can put that there. I can cut that from here. I can put it here. Okay, and now we can remove it from the edit here, and now we just include that file, the both of them. So I can just include that here. So include. And then we're going to say definitions, okay? And then we're going to include the same thing in the view here. Okay, that's good. That's that works. So now it's all the global definitions we can put here, and now everybody is using this same file. Compile. Okay, there's one more error. What is this? Yeah, so that's the mouse point, isn't it? So mouse point, okay. Compile. Okay, and let's run it. Okay, you see it works. So now we are using PostMessage instead of calling the function directly in the class. So we are using PostMessage. We are posting that message now. Okay, and now we haven't finished. Let's use the text as well. So we're gonna put the Peter or something. The PT. So we need to put that also there. So let's just quickly do that as well. So we need to put one more parameter in this show, right? So I'm gonna put why don't I just change, why don't I just what's the best way to do this? I think best way to do is to change this function, right? Instead of passing the parameter, let's just put the, you know, the definitions there, isn't it? So I'm gonna use the information, right? So I'm changing this show now, okay? So we're gonna just pass the information as an parameter here, okay? And now I'm gonna change the header file as well. So edit. So we will use that info here as well. And now we can put the text here, right? So we can put that info. Okay, so that's gonna be the info mouse point X, and that's gonna be the info mouse point Y, and then we're gonna put at in front of that we're gonna put the text, right? So I'm gonna put there the text. Okay, and we need to add the text here as well. So S like text, and maybe like that, or maybe like that. Okay. No, this is just testing. This doesn't make any sense what we are doing here, but we are just testing, you know, simply so. And the rectangle needs to go there, so we need to put info and rectangle here. Okay, rectangle of window. There you go. And now we can simply pass this information object there. It's a reference. So dereferencing the pointer. Okay, and let's go back now here. And you see now the edit, now it doesn't like this one anymore. This is the old version, by the way. So okay, we can call the new version here. This is the, let me remove that actually, because this is the old way to do that. I mean the first way to do it. So we can pass that there by reference like that. Okay, but we're not gonna call that one in this version, so I'll remove it. Okay, so we're almost good to go. So there's the text, and let's see one more time. Yeah, it looks correct. So now I'm gonna compile, and we will see, we should see now the text there as well. There you go. You see PT. There's a text as well. So you can put anything. You can send any information, obviously, easily like this. And let's do quickly the same thing with the button. So this is almost done actually. So I'm just gonna do exactly the same thing with the button now, just to illustrate that this is easy to do. So I'm gonna just copy these two functions, and then I'm gonna go to the button class, and I'm gonna, there's the show, so I'm gonna put it there. Okay, and change the type to button. Okay, and now I need to go to the button and include the definitions here. Definitions, okay. And then what we need to do next is that we need to change this guy. So I'm gonna go and copy that thing there. Okay, there you go. And then what else we need to do here? We need to do the message handler for that message again here. So there's one thing I want to show probably at the end here, but let's just first do this. There's one improvement we can do. So we need to do the same thing. We need to put that message in the message map here. So okay, like that. So it's in a message map now. And what else we need to do? There's a show. Why is it complaining? Ah, because I didn't put put this in a H file, this message handler function. So private, okay, like that, and yeah, is it now okay? Still red. Why is it red? Oh, because this show information message, it can't see the. So what do we need to do now? Any suggestion? Because you remember when we used that edit box, we put that we created a new Windows message, and we put that here in the edit box. Now the button also needs to handle the same message. So how can we fix this, that they both can use the same message? Because it's complaining now that it can't see that. This button class is complaining it can't see that Windows message. So how can we fix this? Well, we can move this one to the definitions, isn't it? So I'm gonna cut it, and we can place it in the definition. No, we can put it here. We can put here, for example. You remember the everybody can see this, okay? Everybody can see all of these. Properties event. No, but this is the Windows message, which needs to be a global variable. This is the Windows message. When we are sending a Windows message, we need to send this one. I think it's something like this, because it's a special Windows message. This is a constant value, and constants normally go to the H file, isn't it? They normally go to the H file. Constants go to the H file normally. So I think now it sees that. Yep. Okay, and let's now use the button instead. If I did everything correctly, we can now simply change this, and let's post this message to the button instead. Okay, so I'm posting it to the button here. Compile. So now we should see a button instead. Okay, run. There you see. So that's a button. That's a button now. Okay. Cool, isn't it? There it is. So we are sending all that information into that class using PostMessage or SendMessage. And we can, as I said, we can easily change this to SendMessage, which will do it immediately. SendMessage does it immediately. So SendMessage like that. Yeah, like that. So same. We don't see any difference here, but there is a little bit small difference. It SendMessage goes immediately and returns immediately. And yeah. Actually, this is the end of the video, because and also it's been like 1 hour now. It's a good place to stop this. So, and we did everything what we needed to do actually. So it was all good. Yeah, we basically did everything. So we created this dynamically, this memory here. Then we are sending that object, that pointer, and then the receiver deletes that memory when he first uses that, and then he will delete that memory. Yeah. Okay, this is time to stop this, and this can be seen in my channel. It will go there also. Okay, see you next time. Maybe I'm doing another live session another time. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.